let me show you how to make these amazing mango cookies today. These cookies are so delicious and mango forward and can easily be made dairy free. I'm using a little bit of yogurt in my recipe, but you can use plant-based yogurt or even mango pulp. They are super moist and just full of delicious mango pieces. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start by blooming some saffron. So I have a pinch of saffron here, and I like to bloom it with a cube of ice because it's just so easy that way. And I'm just going to set that aside. So I'm using two types of dried mangoes here. I have regular dried mangoes, and I'm also using freeze-dried mangoes. I'm going to start by chopping up the dried mangoes. Chop them up into small pieces and chop.
The other side.
There we go. Set these aside. I have a spice grinder here, or actually a coffee grinder that I use for my spices, and I have just cleaned it out by grinding some plain white rice a couple of times to make sure that there's no spice flavor left. And I'm just going to grind the freeze-dried mango in there. Okay, nice and powdered. Now I'm just going to make my mango sugar by combining the ground mango dust that I just made. Transfer the mango dust to a bowl and add 3 tablespoons of sugar. And a tiny pinch of turmeric for color. And this is the sugar that we're going to roll the cookies in. Okay. Start by creaming the butter and the sugar. Now that the sugar and butter are creamed, let's add the rest of the wet ingredients. Scrape the sides, add the yogurt. I'm going to add them one at a time so they can incorporate well. And the brown sugar. Turmeric. Vanilla. My ice cube didn't melt all the way, so I'm just going to hold that back and add the rest of the saffron and maple syrup. Scrape the sides and mix again. Okay, that looks good. Now in another bowl, add the flour, the salt, the baking soda, ground ginger, ground cardamom, and I like to freshly grate the nutmeg, so I have a whole nutmeg here and a microplane, and I'm just going to grate about 1/4 of the nutmeg in. And whisk that all together. Okay, Now add the chopped dried mangoes. I'm actually going to use my hands so I can break up any clumped up mangoes. Yep, that looks good. Okay, so now I'm going to combine the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients, and I'm just going to use my little spatula to do that. So start by just transferring about half of the dry ingredients into the wet and just gently mix that in. Okay, now add the rest. So the dough is nicely mixed together, and at this point you can refrigerate the dough for anywhere from 20 minutes to even a couple of days, or you can even freeze the dough if you like. So the dough has rested in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes or so, and ready to make our cookies. I have a half sheet pan, and it's lined with a sheet of parchment. Just kind of crease it so it fits nicely. And I also have my mango sugar. You don't have to measure these to be exact. I like to use my cookie scoop. This is about a little bit over 2 tablespoons. And it just makes it really easy to scoop out the cookies. So I just grab that, push it out, and I can just form it into a ball. Roll into the mango sugar. And place on there. Now that the cookies are all rolled out, just flatten them gently with a glass. And if it starts to stick a little, you can just dip it in the sugar and flatten. And there it is. I'm going to go bake these for about 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, there they are. They look fantastic. I'm just going to gently transfer them to a cooling rack. Okay, so just going to put this over here and work on batch 2. Okay, there you have it. Mango cookies. Super moist. Let me break into one. And just so full of mango flavor. So good.